we are going to understand loss of biodiversity. In previous video, we people have understood importance of species richness, right, in proper functioning of ecosystem. This we have understood by Rivet-Popper hypothesis. I hope the theory till date is clear to you all people. Now we are going to understand loss of biodiversity. As the name suggests, धीरे धीरे जो स्पीशीज रिचनेस है वो कम होती जा रही है एंड द कंट्रीब्यूशन फॉर द सेम goes to human activity. So have a look what I have written. The biological wealth of our planet is declining rapidly and accusing finger is clearly pointing to human activities. ठीक है, human activities की वजह से we are losing our biological wealth, we are losing our biodiversity. One such example I have written here, the colonization of tropical Pacific islands by human. ठीक है, humans ने कहाँ पे colonization किया? Tropical Pacific islands, and this leads to extinction of more than 2000 species of native birds. वहाँ पे जो bird species रह रही थी due to colonization of human beings, right? This more than 2000 species of that native birds are extinct. Okay, one such data given by your ICUN red list. This is important one for your MCQ. ICUN red list 2004 documents extinction of, ये सारे के सारे नंबर्स आपको याद रखने हैं, राइट? टोटल ऑफ 784 स्पीशीज. कितने स्पीशीज है? 784 स्पीशीज, इंक्लूडिंग 338 ऑफ वर्टिब्रेट्स, 359 ऑफ invertebrates and 87 of plants are lost in last 500 years. ठीक है, लास्ट 500 ईयर्स में कितने स्पीशीज एक्सटिंक्ट हुए हैं? 784, ऑफ विच 338 वर्टिब्रेट्स, 359 invertebrates and 87 plants. Okay, some example of recent extinctions which are plotted are dodo in Mauritius, quagga Africa, right? Then is your thylacine Australia, stellar sea cow Russia, and yes, it is important one, 3 subspecies of tiger. 3 subspecies of tiger, that is your Bali, Javan and Caspian. This all examples you people have to memorize. Okay, these are example of some of the species which have recently undergone extinction. So ये सारे के सारे आपको याद रखने हैं. Okay, and what I have written in last 20 years. In last 20 years कितनी species disappear हुई है? 20 species. Am I clear? In last 20 years has witnessed the disappearance of 20 species. Okay, so if we are talking about overall species diversity, then more than 15,500 species worldwide are facing threat of extinction. मतलब उसके जो नंबर्स है, ऑर्गेनिज्म के नंबर है, वो बहुत ही कम है. if we do not protect them, then they are going to extinct very soon. Okay, मतलब threat of extinction, this is called as vulnerable. इसको क्या बोला जाता है? vulnerable. Okay, so more than 15,500 species are facing threat of extinction, of which 12% of all birds, 23% of mammal species, 32% of your amphibians and 31% of your gymnospermic plant in world, right, faces the threat of extinction. मतलब इसको अगर protect नहीं करा हमने तो they are soon, very soon they are going to become extinct. Okay, now if this biodiversity is lost, then what happens? If the biodiversity is lost, then what could be the possible effects that we can see? Number one, I have written decline in plant production, right? Lowered resistance to environmental effects such as drought, okay, and increased variability in certain ecosystem processes such as plant productivity, water use, pest and disease cycle. इन द सेंस मैंने आपको आगे के वीडियो में समझाया था, देयर इज इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ स्पीशीज रिचनेस. अगर स्पीशीज धीरे धीरे कम होती चली जा रही है, देन the stability of ecosystem will be affected in terms of what? In terms of plant production, you can say, right? In terms of resistance. Resistance क्या होगा? कम होगा towards environmental effects, say for example drought. Okay, there will be change in plant productivity, then water usage, pest and disease cycle, and many more effects can be seen. So these are loss of biodiversity in a region lead to. Okay, now four main important reason for loss of biodiversity are: number one is deforestation, that is your habitat loss and fragmentation, I can say. Second one is alien species invasion. Third one is overexploitation, and fourth one is co-extinction. These are the four main important, right, फैक्टर्स दैट कॉजेस लॉस ऑफ बायोडाइवर्सिटी, एंड इसको कहा जाता है एविल कॉर्टेट. इसको क्या कहा जाता है? एविल कॉर्टेट. मतलब 4 factors which are responsible for causing loss of biodiversity. Once again they are habitat loss and fragmentation, co-extinction, overexploitation and alien species invasion. So first we are going to start with habitat loss and fragmentation. As the name suggests, due to human activities like deforestation, cultivation, right? What we are doing? We are cutting, we are clearing forest. Forest is place where many species lives, right? They are home for many species, and due to human activities, right, what happens? Now for that species there is no space for live, thus they become extinct. Am I clear? So once again what I have written, the most dramatic example I have written, right, of habitat loss is tropical rainforest. Tropical rainforest, this forest covers 14% of total Earth's area. Okay, 14% of your total Earth land surface, but due to our activities, now this is no more than 6%. This is very important, याद रखना है आप सभी को. ओके, हमने क्या करा है? फॉरेस्ट को कट किया. ड्यू टू दिस रीजन 14% से होके 6% हो गया. अब जो स्पीशीज वहां पे रह रही थी उसको जगह कम पड़ी, then what will happen? धीरे धीरे that species which are living there are going to become extinct. Okay, so once again tropical rainforest which covers 14% of Earth's land surface now is not more than 6%. One more example, lung of planet is your Amazonian rainforest. Okay, Amazon rainforest को क्या कहा जाता है? Lungs of planet, and this forest is cleared for cultivation of soya beans. ठीक है, the forest has been cleared by humans, by human activities. Okay, for cultivation of soya beans, or else for conservation of grasslands, right, for raising beef cattle. 2 important चीजों के लिए ये फॉरेस्ट को कट किया गया. नंबर 1 is your cultivation of soya bean, and second one for conserving grasslands. क्यों grasslands? For obtaining your beef cattle. Am I clear? So again this is contribution of human activity only, right? जिसकी वजह से जो फॉरेस्ट है वो छोटे छोटे टुकड़े में बट जाता है. Okay, we are making fragments, we can say that we are making fragments of forest. Okay, and due to this reason what happened? देखो यहाँ पे क्या लिखा है? When large habitats are broken up into small fragments due to various human activities, mammals and birds requiring larger territories. जो mammals और bird को ज़्यादा जगह चाहिए, who require larger territories, right, for their normal growth. Mammals and birds requiring larger territories and certain animals with migratory habitat are badly affected, leading to population decline, and thus this is sign of extinction. This is sign of extinction. So this is your first point, that is habitat loss and fragmentation. Okay, then comes your alien species invasion. एलियन स्पीशीज का मतलब क्या होता है, जो स्पीशीज नेटिव ना हो वो, जो स्पीशीज इंडिजीनियस ना हो वो. ओके, लुक हाउ इट कॉजेस invasion. What happens when we are introducing some alien species intentionally or unintentionally? Okay, when we are going to introduce alien species unintentionally or deliberately for whatever purpose, some of that species that we have introduced become invasive. It becomes invasive, it grows at a very faster rate, and thus this leads to death of indigenous species, death of native species. ठीक है, so once again what I have written, when alien species are introduced unintentionally or deliberately for whatever purpose, some of them turns invasive and cause decline or extinction of indigenous species. And here I have plotted 3 examples which are very important if you are talking about fish. Nile perch. This Nile perch was introduced in Lake Victoria in East Africa. This leads to extinction of more than 200 species of cichlid species in the lake. Okay, lake में किसका introduction करा? Nile perch. Now Nile perch is considered as an alien species in your Lake Victoria, and this fish itself leads to extinction of 200 species of cichlid fish. Okay, so this is very important example. One more example, introduction of African catfish, that is your Clarias गैरीपाइनस. एग्जाम्पल यू पीपल हैव टू मेमोराइज. ओके, ये कैटफिश कौन सी है? क्लेरियास गैरीपाइनस. This we have introduced for aquaculture purpose. For aquaculture purpose, and this is posing threat to indigenous catfishes present in the river. Okay. One more example you people are all familiar with, that is your water hyacinth. Water hyacinth, you can say terror of Bengal. Okay, you can say ecornia. This we have introduced in India. What is the reason for the same? Due to its larger, broader, shiny leaves and beautiful color of flowers. But now this is considered as an invasive weed. It proliferates at a very fast rate by means of offset. This we have already understood in earlier chapter, right? And this causes death of fishes, or you can say aquatic life which is present underneath. Okay, so invasive weed species I have written. Number 1 is your carrot grass, or it is said as parthenium. Parthenium or carrot grass आगे आया where? In pollen grains. Okay, this is introduced as a matlab you can say this is responsible for causing pollen allergy, right? This is responsible for causing pollen allergies. Then lantana and water hyacinth. तो ये क्या हो गए आपके invasive weed species. Okay, so here we have done with your habitat loss, fragmentation, and second we have done with your alien species invasion. Third that we are going to understand is over exploitation. As the name suggests, यहाँ पे क्या होता होगा, right? If you are talking about human beings, then human beings are of course dependent on nature for food and shelter. Yes, they are dependent, but when this need turns to become greed, this leads to over exploitation of natural resources, and due to this over exploitation many species are being extinct also. So examples I have written of over exploitation: many species extinction in last 500 years, that is your stellar sea calf and passenger pigeon, were due to over exploitation by humans. These 2 examples you people have to fit in your mind. 2 examples which I have written are stellar sea calf and your passenger pigeon. These 2 are lost due to over exploitation. Am I clear? What I have written next: presently many marine fishes population around the world are over harvested. Yes or no? Yes. over harvested, endangering the continued existence of some commercially important species. So यहाँ पे एग्जाम्पल आपको 3 याद रखने हैं, स्टेलर सी काउ, पैसेंजो पिजियन एंड मराइन फिशेस. ओवर कल्टीवेशन हो रहा है इसका, ओवर हार्वेस्टिंग हो रही है इसकी. ड्यू टू दिस many other commercially important species are having threat of extinction. So this is your third point. And the last point is co-extinction. As the name suggests, if two organisms are living symbiotically, if two organisms are living mutually, due to some reason, if one organism dies, then ultimately the another organism who are dependent on that are soon going to die. Simple as that. So what I have written in co-extinction, when a species become extinct, the plant and animal species associated with it in obligatory way, मतलब obligatory in the sense compulsory way. Compulsory way, if this plant or animal species, right, are dependent on species that become extinct, then obligatory way they also become extinct. They also become extinct. One such example I have plotted over here. When host fish species become extinct, then उसके साथ जो भी उसके parasites होते हैं, they also meet the same fate. Simple as that. Okay. And another example is in case of co-evolved plant pollinator mutualism. Plant pollinator mutualism, where extinction of one leads to extinction of another, as we have seen in case of your yucca moth relationship. Okay, this is a kind of, you can say, co-evolved plant pollinator mutualism. Both are dependent on each other. अगर एक species extinct होती है तो धीरे धीरे दूसरी species भी extinct होती चली जाएगी. Okay, so this is your Avil quadrate. Very important it is. Right, board में पूछा गया है ये इस time. 4 main causes: habitat loss, then is your overexploitation, then is your co-extinction and alien species invasion. These are very important theory, loss of biodiversity. I hope you people understood this. Thank you.